We currently don't have any official gameplay or screenshots of Legends ZA or any like real reference as to what it actually is gonna look like. But the Pokemon Company finally dropped the official trailer for the Shiny Rayquaza raid in Scarlet and Violet, which is coming really soon. And it's pretty interesting to me just how the overall trailer looks. So obviously the inspiration of the city is from Scarlet and Violet. Like this is in the Paldea region, this is in the game. Obviously this Shiny Rayquaza raid is coming to the game. And I'm not saying that this is what Legends ZA looks like 100%. I just think it's really interesting that they kind of chose like a first person sort of perspective of a city. And I think that this is really going to tell us how Legends ZA is going to somewhat look like, because Legends ZA is taking place in the Kalos region, more specifically in Lumio City. And now what that really means is that the scaling is going to be completely different. So the entire city is going to have to be the size of, like, let's just say the entire map of the Hisui region, right? Like the map is going to be big. The city is going to be really big. The scale is going to be pretty huge. I've already made like a video sort of like this, but with just different kind of concepts and talking about different things, and I'm bringing this up again just because of this trailer. This trailer is super interesting to me. And also, like a few days ago or about a week ago or something like that, we got some gameplay of Pokemon Unite in China, like the Chinese version of Pokemon Unite, and how it looks completely different from any other version, in the sense that it literally is like an open world in a way. Like the main city, like the hub, it's pretty small, but it's like an open world game in a way. You could do dances and like walk around with Pokemon and stuff. And I thought that was like a really, like a big telltale sign of how Legends ZA is gonna sort of be like, you know what I mean? Obviously the graphics are gonna look totally different. We don't have any official gameplay. We're getting a trailer reportedly. Remember that, reportedly getting a trailer in January, and then Pokemon Day is in February, which, you know, January is literally 2 months away, February is 3 months away, so that's really right around the corner, and we're definitely going to get some sort of gameplay. My assumption is that the January trailer is going to be not so much like a complete gameplay trailer. I think there's going to be some gameplay for sure. I think we're going to get some view of the overworld of the city, some of the animations, the graphics. Like the first trailer that we have is like a teaser trailer. There's no real gameplay. It just kind of hints at what the game is going to be, like kind of how it's redeveloping the Lumio City and kind of just like a blueprint type of thing. We don't even know like when this game is taking place. Probably going to be in the modern time, just reported from like the leaks, like probably within the modern-ish age, either like not so far off of the events of X and Y. And I'm going to assume that on Pokemon Day, we're probably going to get like a more in-depth trailer, like a more in-depth gameplay, like maybe a 5 minutes of gameplay, 10 minutes of gameplay even. They did that with Scarlet and Violet, as well as Legends Arceus. We had like a pretty in-depth trailer, and I definitely think that one of the biggest things that people are kind of concerned about is how the game is going to perform, how it's going to look graphically, I guess, with the animations and just kind of like the overworld. Like, is it going to be detailed? Are there going to be, you know, is there going to be a lot of wildlife? How are they going to pull it off that it's going to be in the city? And a lot of people are divided. Personally, I was kind of divided, like I was in between at first. I was like, I don't really want it to be in the city, but I've eventually come to this fact that I think it's going to be really interesting, and that we've had so many Pokemon games, like in the typical Pokemon format, where it's like in nature, go down some routes or open world or whatever, and I think it's going to be really interesting just to have a game in the city. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like a one-off type of thing, like they're probably not going to do this ever again, or at least not for a really long time, and I think they're going to pull it off. I think they're really focusing on this game, and I think that's why we haven't had any official gameplay trailers yet, because I really think that they're trying to make the performance of this game good, and the graphics look good, you know what I mean? And the Pokemon Unite gameplay that we have, like this game came out in China already, you could play it in China, or you could set like your phone to China or something like that. There's ways to play it in America, or if you're in another country, you can still play it. I don't really know specifically how, I don't really care enough to try it, but it's pretty interesting just to see the gameplay, and that it is like kind of an open world-esque sort of game. Like overall, like the gameplay of that game is still the same, but I'm talking about like, instead of like a home page, it's like a home like hub area where there's a bunch of other players and stuff. Kind of makes me think like, will Legends ZA have any sort of multiplayer, like online multiplayer where you're seeing people in the city? I think that would be awesome. Most likely not. I highly doubt it. I don't think there's going to be like a multiplayer where you're playing with random people in the city. You could probably bring your friends over to your map or your game, you know, and do it that way. But like as far as like an MMO kind of style goes, probably not. I hope one day though. I think a real official Pokemon MMO game would do so well. I think it would be successful for years and years, and I just can't believe they haven't done that yet. I just really hope we get a real Pokemon MMO one day. That's definitely high up there on my wish list for future Pokemon games. Going back to like the Rayquaza trailer, right? So this is obviously for Scarlet and Violet. Like I said, I'm reiterating this just in case somebody missed it, but obviously the city that this trailer is in, it's in Scarlet and Violet. It's like the main big city of that game. It's just pretty interesting how they kind of wanted it to be a first person point of view. And the first scene of this trailer, like where you're going under that little like, you know, bridge domed. I don't really know what that's called. I'm not an architectural designer. I wish I was, because I think that stuff is cool. But that little archway, I guess I'll call it. When you go through the archway, it's like, that's exactly how we're probably going to be in Legends ZA. We're going to be looking at the grand, you know, buildings, and everything is going to be just a big scale. Like, we're going to be walking through a city like we are in real life. And let me know how you guys feel about it. I love hearing what you guys have to say. A lot of people in my comments are divided, like I said, but a lot of people are looking forward to this game. I personally am looking forward to the game. I think the Kalos region, we needed to go back. You know what I'm saying? The Kalos region was definitely slept on for a couple of years. A lot of people like it now. When things age, people start to like it more. But what's also cool about the Shiny Rayquaza raid is that this is what Riddler Coup has been teasing for about, I don't know, maybe a month or so, a couple weeks, and it came true. So I'm just bringing that up because a lot of people don't think that the leakers are reputable when in reality, Riddler Coup is one of the most reputable leakers. And as far as like leaks go though, obviously a lot of things don't happen or don't come true or change, you know what I mean? Like, because they're leaks. If nothing is official, that means everything is subject to change in the future. So Riddler Coup, I think, did a pretty good job with this, and a lot of people pretty much assumed this like right when he first tweeted it, like a picture of the Shiny Rayquaza, and said, I forgot what he said, but a lot of people were thinking it was a Pokemon Conquest sequel or some sort of Pokemon Conquest game, which I think would be really cool, but also just wouldn't really make sense to come out now. Maybe one day though. And let me know what you think about Legends ZA. Are you excited? Are you liking the fact that it's going to be in Lumio City, or are you not liking that fact? Like, do you want to go back to the regular Pokemon game where, you know, you start off in one town and you make your way through some different routes or some wildlife, and then you go to another town? You know, just kind of like the original format of a Pokemon game. I love those style Pokemon games. They're dear to my heart, but I'm looking forward to this game just to see how it is, especially since all the Pokemon games on the Switch have been so different. It's been such a variety of Pokemon games. So I'm hoping with this game, which is probably going to be like the last Pokemon game that's like only made for the Switch, because the reports are that Generation 10 is going to be for Switch 1 and 2. So that's why I'm saying that this may be like the last Pokemon game specifically made for the Switch. I'm hoping that we're going to get it sent off with a very good game. So, alright, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Someone